Man, Sonic music in the 90s was weird! Now hold on, I'm not talking about Labyrinth Zone. Really, the unabridged title of this video should be, Hey, everybody. Physically released music in the 1990s related to and or featuring Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic the Hedgehog was rather unique and quite peculiar, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Dance Power. But that's too long and far too nuanced a title for Mr. YouTube. The YouTube algorithm hates nuance. And yet, I'm Nuance Fan 77, here to take you on a deep dive on some malarkey that doesn't really matter. Now hold on, maybe this sounds weird to begin with. What's so weird about this era of Sonic cassettes, CDs, and vinyl in the first place? When you think of Sonic music releases, I hope I'm the first one you think about, but after that, you probably think of a typical soundtrack release, a CD with all the songs from your favorite game, or Lost World, but oh no. No. That was more like the exception to the rule during this era. Sandwiched between house mixes featuring Sonic, arrangements and remixes, music compilations, also Wonder Man. Any of that sound interesting? Well, I don't care. I'm gonna take you on a loosely chronological stroll down 90s Sonic music lane, trying to cover everything I can. You might expect the first ever Sonic the effing Hedgehog music release to be, I don't know, the soundtrack to Sonic 1, Sonic 2, perchance. You can't just say perchance. But no, neither Sonic 1 nor 2 would get an actual soundtrack release until 2011, 20 years after the very first game, in the form of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 soundtrack, ampersand. It's a pretty cool package. It even features a ton of Masato Nakamura's original demo versions of the songs that would eventually end up in game. It's worth a listen. But not worth talking about anymore here. Refer to the title. I hate this. All my homies hate topics for another video someday. From what I can gather, the possibly very first Sonic-related music thing was 1992's Supersonic, featuring Sonic the Hedgehog by H.W.A, a moniker that Discogs tells me stands for Hedgehog with Attitude. Okay. If you say so. Released primarily in the UK in the form of a CD single, cassette, 7-inch vinyl, 12-inch vinyl, and a 12-inch vinyl promo copy, there was also apparently a CD maxi single released to wider parts of Europe. Man, I like that cover. It's nice. It's green, as in Hill Zone. It's simple and green, but the simplicity adds to it, I think. It's very 90s. Speaking of Green Hill Zone, that's the primary track that's remixed here. Or rather, it's more accurate to say the composition of Green Hill Zone is worked into this sort of house electronic song, with some Sonic sound effects littered throughout. Bro went to Sounds Resource and just went crazy mode. The multiple tracks are all different mixes and instrumentals of one song, titled Supersonic. Yeah, I get it. All proceeds that SEGA receive from this record will be donated to Nordhoff Robin's Music Therapy Center, which helps children with severe learning difficulties communicate through the medium of music. Hey, thanks Sonic, I like that. Fun fact, there's apparently a music video for this song, which is kind of lost media, I guess. Apparently there's only like a few seconds of it out there. I don't know. Overall, it's a really fun, possibly, first release. Man, I wonder what the future holds. Well, bam, here we are. Actually, not really. It's still 1992, but Sonic's here again. I like it when that happens. Supersonic Dance Attack released in Germany on both CD maxi single and 12-inch vinyl. Additionally, it got a remix release on both mediums, with a total of 4 different mixes. 16-bit version, Overtime Edit, the Remix, and Overtime Remix. The Overtime Edits, as you might guess, are extended edits of the original song. The 16-bit version isn't actually 16-bit though, they were just being cute. All versions also have a song called Intergalactica as a B-side, which has the same kind of vibe but isn't Sonic related. The actual music is a techno dance bop that incorporates the main theme of the original Sonic the Hedgehog, along with plenty of sound effects from both that game and Streets of Rage. Supersonic Dance Attack. We have Intergalactica Dance Club to thank for this release. I wonder what else they've done. Wow, extensive catalog. This is clearly a moniker just for this release, like H.W.A. I like this release a lot. The artwork is one of, if not my favorite, out of all I'm gonna talk about in this video. Just look at it, the colors, the shapes. Hey, unrelated, but I sure hope Sonic doesn't kill Dr. Robotnik.
I killed Dr. Robotnik.
Bro, are you serious? Supersonic by H.W.A. and Supersonic Dance Attack by Intergalactica Dance Club are easy listening and a lot of fun. Definitely worth full listens if you've never heard them before. If you're wanting to track down physical copies, they're not all that expensive or hard to find either. Man, how nuts it would have been to experience these two early releases back when they were brand new, when so much of what the Sonic franchise would become was still so far away. This next one's weird. You know, like The Better One Wins by TIC, featuring Michelangelo. Who are they? A bunch of nobodies, apparently. TIC fans been waiting for the next song by their goat for goddamn 33 years. The only thing related to Sonic here is the cover, which is honestly really cool. Just a screenshot of Sonic 1. The heads-up display is even edited to read as the artist and track information, and I think that's pretty clever. It's a cool idea we never really saw used again, at least in the Sonic-verse, which is the only one I care about. Sonic, watch out, the Buzz Bomber's gonna get you! Hey, does anybody have $5.76 I can borrow? The Better One Wins single was released on CD Maxi Single in Germany and 12-inch vinyl in the Netherlands, both containing a few different mixes of the song, including an instrumental. The song itself is just a hip-hop track. Imagine wanting to listen to Sonic music and it's just some guy yapping. Wait a minute. If you're thinking, why would Sonic be on the cover when the actual music is completely unrelated? Surely that never happens again. Just keep watching the video. Interestingly, a compilation CD that translates to Supersonic Presents The Better One Wins with an exclamation point would release in Germany that same year. I think the single came first, but I'm not positive. There's very little info on this thing. Maybe the song itself was made specifically to market this compilation, or maybe nothing actually matters ever. See, I like that Sonic is so magnanimous to showcase really small underground artists. Nice song title, guys. Yeah, we get it. You've seen Cowboy Bebop. The only thing related to Sonic here, other than the cover and the disc, is track 13, our old friend Supersonic Dance Attack. Come on, Intergalactica Dance Club, you've had your time. Let the little guys shine. I like this little Sonic emblem thing, whatever it is. Sing! SEGA Game Music, presented by BB Queens, was released in July of 1992 in Japan. BB Queens was a Japanese pop group, and here they're performing music from various SEGA games. The group itself was mainly active between 1990 and 1993. Do you think this was their highlight? SEGA went to them and asked, hey, you want to play a bunch of SEGA music for a cool CD release? And they were like, oh man, heck yes we do. What are we gonna play? Like Sonic? Like music from Sonic? Nope. Quiz Scramble 3-in-1. That's not even a real game. Past the artwork, this doesn't even seem to be Sonic related at all. Look at the tracks. Do you literally even see a Live and Learn? Or a chemical plant for pizza's sake? Track 2 claims to be the theme from Teddy Boy Blues. Yeah, ever play that one? I sure have. But actually, according to Sega Retro, this was intended to be the theme of Sega Sonic Bros, a puzzle game that never got released outside of a market test in Japan, but was later found and preserved. Go read about it if you're a nerd and care about that kind of thing. And the song was purposefully misattributed to a different game on the track list. Little did they know a bunch of Sonic nerds later would dig up the truth. They can't hide anything. Between 1992 and 1994, there would be a few more releases here and there related to Sonic in one way or another. Dreams Come True, Sonic composer Masato Nakamura's band, would release their album The Swinging Star in Japan in 1992. Notable here for the inclusion of Sweet Sweet Sweet, the original version of Sonic 2's ending theme, complete with vocals. This came out exactly 1 week earlier than Sonic 2 in Japan, the first time it ever hit store shelves. I'm not saying that. Translated, all the music from the Micro Kids show What was the Micro Kids show? Apparently some gaming variety show in France in the early 90s. How did they get micro? I don't care. And released on both CD and cassette, this was the music from said show, most of which are arranged versions of existing video game music. If you don't know what a cassette tape is, it was basically a piece of plastic with scotch tape inside, and they somehow put an MP3 file on that thing. If you don't know what an MP3 file is, ask your dad and he'll tell you about LimeWire. Yeah, this is awesome. Don't you hate it when you're trying to listen to Marble Zone and someone keeps calling your phone and cracking a whip? What is this, dog? 1994 would see the release of German DJ Westbam's Wizards of the Sonic, a hard trance single which sampled the Sonic 2 boss theme. Is that him? Is that Sonic? Yeah, that's Sonic. Same year, we got the sort of infamous Wonder Man by Right Said Fred, a song made to promote Sonic 3 on TV, I guess? I don't know, check out this video by Hysterian if you want to know more. Funnily enough, a different Right Said Fred song, Those Simple Things, appeared back on Supersonic Presents, The Better One Wins. But it doesn't matter, because I haven't listened to it, and I won't, and you can't make me. This is my video. By the grace of God Almighty, 1994 also saw the first entry in this stupid video that can actually be called a soundtrack, and you couldn't even buy the damn thing. Sonic the Hedgehog Boom! Was a bonus for pre-ordering Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which Discogs says was exclusive to Toys R Us in America. It claims to be limited collector's edition, and despite being a bonus for Sonic 3, it contains the music from Sonic CD and Sonic Spinball. These, of course, are the American Sonic CD tracks, while the 4 Spinball tracks included Spinball Theme, Flight to Volcanic Fortress, Toxic Cave, and Lava Powerhouse are actually arranged versions that are sort of built out and extended in comparison to their in-game counterparts. They're pretty rad too. The bass line on this version of Toxic Caves goes hard, and I have to commend them for taking the title screen music, a 9-second jingle, and making an entire 2.5-minute song out of it. With the ratio of CD to Spinball tracks, it's easier to think of this as a Sonic CD with some bonus tracks from Spinball. Also notable here is that it has a full version of Sonic Boom, the US opening theme to Sonic CD. Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Hey, nice title, guys. What's next? A Tails Adventure, Tails and the Music Maker? Just like the Spinball tracks on Sonic the Hedgehog Boom, these tracks are not game rips. Rather, they're all rearranged versions of the music from Sonic and Knuckles. Just Sonic and Knuckles. Okay, so why is he here then? Probably a promo thing, I don't know. Rings and Diamonds Land. I want to go there. Bye, Mom. Cover art is cool. It's hard to mess up, though, when you use one of the coolest logos ever made on planet Earth. This one's pretty expensive today. It's hard to track down for anything remotely close to its 2,300 Japanese yen retail price. Hey, does anybody have $240 I could borrow? Some of these tracks are kind of neat, but ultimately I think the instrumentation ends up sounding a little bit cheesy. Hey, don't sue me. I'm joking. Your Honor, Sonic and Knuckles. Death. Even Sonic Team agrees with me. This is a good point to introduce the Sonic Adventure Sound Section website, a webpage created by Sonic Team in the Adventure era, documenting the current releases of that game's soundtracks, as well as plenty of the backlog stuff. It's rich with commentary about a lot of the releases I'll be covering, so I'll be referencing the Google translated versions of the original Japanese pages throughout. Most of it's written in first person, but I'm not able to find for sure who was writing for the page, so henceforth I'll just be crediting Sonic Team as a unit. I recommend checking out the site for yourself. It's an awesome time capsule that's thankfully preserved and still available today. You don't even need the Wayback Machine right now. Anyway, in terms of content, I find the original for the Mega Drive is of higher quality. Sonic Team, bro, friendly fire. Sonic the Hedgehog Remix. This one goes crazy. Here we have 8 tracks remixing a bunch of music from Sonic CD, remixed by original composers Naofumi Hataya and Masafumi Ogata themselves, which is rad. Sonic & Knuckles Sonic 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog Remix were released just a couple months apart in 1994. Something that the December 1994 issue of Beep Mega Drive pointed out, also calling Sonic & Knuckles Sonic 3 the first official Sonic album in Japan. Both were published by GMO Records, an imprint of Alpha Records specifically for video game music. GMO stands for Game Music Organization. These were their only Sonic-related works, which, matter of fact, were their last published works altogether. They had worked with SEGA a number of times over the years, though. The first thing they published was called The Return of Video Game Music. What do you mean, return? Where did it go? Hey, Sonic, I know you can do anything. But where are you? Also, are you married now? Congrats, I guess, but it's supposed to be on your left hand, buddy. Do you need help with your headphones, by the way? It's okay. Surely he'll figure out how to wear them later. Look, everybody, it's Sonic. Everybody say hi, Sonic. Front to back, it's definitely worth a listen, especially if you're a fan of the music from Sonic CD. It's just cool and fun and groovy. Hataya-san has commented that due to this album being put together after Sonic CD had come out, and since it was just around the time that SEGA had a studio, he and Ogata-san decided to remix and rework the original songs, wanting to step up the music of Sonic CD, and create something different with the same concept. He also said that the lyrics to Love You Sonic are about Sonic and Amy. The remix of Sonic You Can Do Anything, also known as Toot Toot Sonic Warrior, also known as Good Song, titled Brand New World, as well as Eighth Space, straight up use this Yeah sample, which is the same one as in 2 Unlimited's Get Ready for This. You know, the ba-na-na-ma-ba-ba-na-ba. I'm not gonna play it. I'll get sued for real this time. Not even as a joke, like in Sonic & Knuckles. Ooh, I'm gonna buy this and put the sticker it comes with on my hydro flask and run it in the dishwasher. Hey, Sonic Retro, why do you say, as hinted at by the title of the album, the CD is a collection of remixed tracks? What do you mean hinted at? It's right there in the name. That's like saying, this game hints at the fact I'll be playing as Shadow. I'm on that good cushion Sonic remix. I'm on that good cushion Dr. Giggly Man. Listen to this one, it's good. Quickly, I want to mention Super Mega Drive Fan, Volumes 1 and 2, Mega CD Super Music Collection, and Mega Drive Super Music Collection. What is this, a Dragon Ball figure line? Released in 1993 and 1994, respectively. These came bundled in magazines of the same name in Japan, featuring music from a bunch of different SEGA games, including Sonic CD, which got 3 tracks across these 2 pack-in releases. Sonic 6290 Mix and After 6290 Mix are remixes that would later be featured in Sonic Gems collection as unlockables. The Sonic Adventure sound site confirms that the 6290 Mix and Sonic Ambient Mix were specifically produced for the first volume. They didn't say whether or not After 6290 Mix was specifically made for the second album, but it might be safe to assume that it was. Published by VAP in Japan, 1995, SEGA Arcade Selection DRAM Remix, a title that always confused me, and perhaps, dear viewer, you as well. But please, do not be afraid. DRAM, while being named after that computer thing that nerds know about, is simply the name for this group of composers and musicians, and these songs are their remixes of SEGA arcade music, including SEGA Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, the arcade game you gotta play with a goddamn ball. Mayan Rady looking fresh. Pretty sure this is the only time anything related to that game's music would make it on a physical release. I think this is the first title here that got a counterfeit version, bootlegged by Sun Mei Records. They were one of the largest bootleggers of CDs in Taiwan. They knocked off a ton of anime and game CDs, including the Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2 soundtracks, but did manage to have 2 official reprints that they got the distribution rights to. This was right as Taiwan joined the World Trade Organization in late 2001, which subjected local companies to international copyright law. After that, Sunmei Records would restructure into a different company, though other bootleggers would continue in the same region. These 2 articles on JD Rias and Akibaren have a lot more info on the matter if you want to dive deeper into the subject of bootlegging CDs originally from Japan. Sonic the Hedgehog. That's the name of this one. Just Sonic the Hedgehog. The title must be a hint to the fact that he's here. Now, maybe you didn't know that was the name of this CD, maybe you haven't even seen this one before, but I guarantee you've heard it.
They call me Sonic, 'cause I am faster than sound, I keep on jumping around. Blue Hedgehog Sonic, with incredible speed, I'm moving my feet.
This is definitely the caramel dancing of Sonic music. Sonic the Hedgehog is an entire album of original, ravey, happy hardcore music based around Sonic, published by Arcade Records in the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, Austria, and Switzerland. 4 of these songs have proper vocals and lyrics, while the other instrumental tracks fit the same sort of vibe. It's like a Sonic tribute album, full of original songs. The tunes are dance-oriented, and some of them have vocals in a hilarious voice that sounds like you've inhaled helium. They sure do. There were 2 promotional singles for this album too, They Call Me Sonic and King of the Ring. The former includes 4 tracks also available on the full release, but King of the Ring features 2 remixes and a German version of They Call Me Sonic, which I didn't even know existed before working on this video.
Hey, hier kommt Sonic, schneller als der Schall, hier und überall.
Cool. The album's CD-ROM came with a music video for They Call Me Sonic, as well as a playable demo of the PC version of Comic Zone. That's neat. Okay. It's time. Sonic Dance Power and its offshoots were compilation CDs, and sometimes cassettes, released between 1994 and 1997 in various European countries, including the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Spain, and Belgium. Now, if you're thinking, hey, that's only 3 years, how many could there have been? Like 2? No. There are many. There are 25. And you heard me right, these are compilation releases featuring pop and dance songs contemporary for the time. Maybe they were hits, maybe they weren't, I don't really know. Backstreet Boys is on here sometimes though. It's basically a European dance compilation and doesn't have anything to do with Sonic's music. It just has pictures on the cover and the record. Sonic might be right there in the name, right there on every cover. Knuckles is here too sometimes, but no Sonic music. Not even a Labyrinth Zone for Pete's sake, for all my Labyrinth heads out there. Funny enough, this series is a little more confusing to look up and research than you might think, because there are so many different offshoots of this series, specific to certain countries, some using the same covers but with completely different music. From what I can tell, the catalyst of this series was Sonic Dance, released by Magnum Records as a single CD and cassette in the Netherlands in 1994. Actually, the CD had 2 different versions, but the only difference was the front text color. Sweet, that's right, just Sonic Dance. Hadn't been hit by the power ray quite yet. After that, the Sonic Dance series would continue in Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and France. Sonic France. I'm just kidding, everybody. Each country getting their own separate variations, sometimes with differing art, but all times with differing music. And I'm not gonna listen to any of them, because none of them even have Red Volcano Zone from Sonic Blast. Most of these releases were under Arcade Records, the very same label that gave us the aforementioned Sonic the Hedgehog with They Call Me Sonic. Despite being different record labels, both the first Sonic Dance and Sonic the Hedgehog use the international Game Gear box art of Sonic Chaos as their covers. Arcade Giveth, Arcade Giveth again, but I don't want it this time. Also, this one actually came first. Though, it's hard to find a clear answer if the releases outside of the Netherlands were directly related to and meant to follow the first, or simply sharing the namesake and were the same sort of idea. My guess is the former, though. Somewhere along the line, the series morphed into / ran concurrently with Sonic Dance Power, The Power Ray finally got his ass. Now under Jive Records, this series ran the longest of all these dance music compilations, at least if we're looking at total numerical releases alone. Sonic Dance Power primarily released in the Netherlands. At least 2 through 8 did. The only first release I can find was called Sonic Dance Power 1, released in Denmark the same year that 2 and 3 came out in the Netherlands. You can't call it that, that's cheating! Belgium was also cursed by the dance power gods as well, but why did they only get 5, 6, and 7? While all this was going on, a separate series, Sonic Mix, exclusive to Spain, had 3 releases and the same damn idea. All 3 recycled artwork, all 3 have different music than the other series. And of course, there was Sonic Boogie, the more uncommon offshoot which got 6 releases exclusive to Italy. And that's one I just made up now to trick you. All these dance music compilations are such an anomaly, man. While the music on all of them do vary, many artists are featured several times across all of them, and sometimes even the same song shows up a few times. Many of these got TV spots in their native countries, of course advertising the music included with footage of the artists, but a lot of them have these unique Sonic animations as well. It's very neat. Sonic Dance Power 3 walked so Sonic and Progressive could run. A lot of art assets for the covers and booklets are reusing or sometimes tracing existing art, but a good handful of these have original art too. I like this one the best. This art isn't original to Dance Power 3, but I do particularly love this art of Sonic vibing on the cover. It's one of my all-time favorites, while Knuckles with a traced head jet skis in the background. Check it out. Okay, what if it was all a dream? Well, I'd say wake up, Puddin' Cup, because a new Sonic Dance Power just dropped, and for some godforsaken reason, they dropped the Roman numeral system for this. It's just the number 4. Sonic Dance Power 4. It's the only one that does this. Why? Number 4 fans really ate with this one. Yo, is that a JoJo's? Endless Summer. How about Endless Bummer? Weezer. Sonic and Knuckles, like the game, connected by a shoelace, and Knuckles, the poor bloke, holding on for dear life. Sonic seems unperturbed, to be frank. I've seen this cover so many times, and I've only now realized that Sonic is on like a jet board or something. Not to mention the background is kinda dark and desolate, almost reminiscent of Sonic Sat.AM aesthetics. This art was also used for the covers of Spain's Sonic Mix 2 and the French and Denmark releases of Sonic Dance 2, but not the Norway or Sweden releases of Sonic Dance 2, which shares its artwork with Sonic Dance Power 3 and the Denmark version of Sonic Dance 3, which was then followed by Sonic Dance 4, Denmark being the only country to get a 4, not counting Sonic Dance Power in the Netherlands. This shares its cover art with the Norway release of Sonic Dance 3, and with the Netherlands Sonic Dance Power 5. After that release were Dance Powers 6, 7, and 8. The artwork for 6 was consistent between the Netherlands and Belgium releases. Meanwhile, the Belgium version of 7 actually used different artwork that was also used for Dance Power 8, which did not release in Belgium and only released in the Netherlands. Follow-up question, does anything matter at all? Man, this cover is awesome. They should make a whole game about it. Why did they get rid of Knuckles and Eggman on these ones though? Be gone, Knuckles. On the France dance, Sonic is in a hellscape. Thank goodness he's still got his snowboard though. Ah, I see we're on the beach yet again. See, this happens to be a subtle reference to Sonic Dance Power 3. Real Dance Power heads know this, of course. I'm a huge DP fan here. Tokyo Ghetto Pussy. Yeah, me too, Knuckles. Bro brought a soccer ball to the beach. Sonic's in rollerblades on a path that either seems to go into the ocean or is floating in the air. And he can't hear you, Knuckles, no matter how loudly you plead, for he seems to be engrossed in his tunes. But wait, the smoke trail from aforementioned rollerblades doesn't seem to line up with the path in the first place? Oh, but how could I forget? This is Sonic Dance Power universe. Anything goes here. There are no rules. This one has a cassette release that's apparently pretty uncommon. Hey, does anybody have an unspecified dollar amount I can borrow? You guys, I'm low-key obsessed with Sonic Dance Power 7, released in the Netherlands in 1996. It includes Quit Playing Games with My Heart by Backstreet Boys and No Diggity by Blackstreet featuring Dr. Dre. even though Pitch Perfect hadn't come out yet. The aftermarket is a little steep, but it's worth every penny. Run, don't walk to Discogs.com to secure yours today and celebrate Sonic's 34th anniversary. Sonic is looking good on this one. Sonic Dance Power would conclude with its 8th installment in 1997, only 3 years after the very first Sonic Dance, and only 2 years after the first release with the Dance Power name. It's intriguing to me how many of these there were, and within such a short amount of time, before stopping completely. Well, Discogs says Sonic Mix kept going until 2012, but those are an unlicensed continuation of the series, started 10 years after the official Sonic Mix 3.
What? Oh, hell no! Hell no!
Man, Sonic Mix heads were really suffering during that drought. From what I can gather, releasing dance and pop hit compilation CDs and cassettes with characters on the front, which had nothing to do with the music itself, was something of a trend in Europe in the 90s and at least the early 2000s. Maybe earlier, maybe later. Sonic seems like the most prevalent example here, but in making this video, I've come across Dragon Ball Z, Nintendo, Flintstones. Bro was working on gummy vitamins and Europop CDs around the same time. Prolific career. They should make a whole cartoon about this guy. Wait, no, hold on. They did use this music in Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, no, I remember now. Right after Piccolo kills Raditz and subsequently Goku with Special Beam Cannon, they did play DJ Boozy Woozy's Party Affair. Maybe that was just the Faulkner score, though. Okay. The Sonic Dance Power section of this video is over. We're safe now. In the midst of all that garbage going on in Europe, the US once again got actual Sonic music on a compact disc. SEGA Tunes' Virtual Sonic was published by Laserlight Digital in 1996, along with 4 others under the SEGA Tunes name: Vector Man, Comic Zone, Toe Jam and Earl, and everybody's favorite SEGA characters, the X-Men 2. There was a box set as well, in the form of SEGA Tunes, Virtual Sonic, and more! Basically all 5 CDs in a slipcover box. Look at him, bro's hogging the limelight. Or should I say the laser light? I'm only joking. The 12 tracks on Virtual Sonic were composed and performed by Howard Drawson, which include the Sonic and Knuckles theme and a couple songs from Spinball, but these are new arrangements for this very album, which is what enhanced music on the cover means. Many of these songs, however, are original compositions, which is probably what they meant by inspired by the worlds of Sonic. The SEGA Tunes border on the side is sick, emulating how Genesis game boxes looked, and Sonic himself has that early computer-rendered charm. As we're looking at the chronology of physical Sonic music, 1996 and 1997 is around the time things started shifting, and slowly but surely coming to resemble how they'd look in the following decade. Virtual Sonic would be the last main work solely focusing on Sonic, published in the United States during the 90s. And with a few exceptions, once Dance Power wrapped up in 1997, physical Sonic music would tend to be exclusive to Japan. This leads us to Sonic the Fighter's original soundtracks, published in September of 1996 in Japan. Soundtracks, as in more than one? Nope, just one disc, you big dummy. This one stands out for a few reasons. First, look! Isn't it cool? No remixes, no arranged versions, no DJ Bobo. Simply the music from the game, exactly as is. Sonic the Fighters, of course, is a game from Disney's Wreck-It Ralph. It's crazy they made it real. The music from Sonic the Fighters is so unique. It really stands out from other Sonic music, but I think fits in too. The soundtrack to Sonic the Fighters is still in operation in Tomorrowland at Tokyo Disneyland. Those who know the story will understand. However, there are not many people who can clear the game the first time they play it. Sonic Team just said, if you know, you know, and skill issue, back to back, and left. I want to know the story. Does this mean that you could play Sonic the Fighters from Wreck-It Ralph at Tokyo Disneyland? Or was the soundtrack specifically played at the park? Like, could I meet Goofy while Giant Wing played? The CD has 2 bonus tracks unused in the original game. An alternate version of the character select music, and a track called Sunset Town, speculated to be the intended theme of Honey the Cat. I think the port on HD consoles also maybe used both of these. Look at the packaging, look at the art! Actual in-game models, which is a first in this entire video. That doesn't count. Don't make me mad. Sonic in Sydney. The only entry I've discussed that was released in Australia. What gave it away? This CD could only be purchased at SEGA World Sydney, an indoor theme park in Sydney, Australia, that operated between 1997 and 2000. One of the attractions was a 25-minute long live musical based on Sonic, set up on a stage adjacent to the park's food court. That way you could eat your Sonic dog while watching Sonic Dog. The plot of said musical sees Robotnik set up a laboratory in Sydney with the intention of controlling all of Australia. You gotta start somewhere, I guess. Sonic, Tails, and Sally crash land in Sydney to stop him. Sally gets kidnapped by Robotnik and sings about it. After that, Robotnik begins to fall in love with her and asks why she loves Sonic and not him. Bro. Oh, Robotnik, that's awfully toxic of you. Wait a minute, Robotnik is a bad guy? Sonic and Tails thwart Robotnik with the help of some audience participation, and a sleeping potion, and the day is saved. And you walk out of SEGA World Sydney with your mom and ask, Mom, what the hell was that? The show ran for less than a year before being replaced by a puppet show with a different plot. Aside from this CD and only a few photos, most of which are from the puppet show, these live shows are essentially lost to time. There's no known video footage existing of either, and unlike the stage performance, the puppet show was never released in any way. The CD, Sonic in Sydney, was packaged in a slim jewel case and features the 3 original songs from the show, composed and arranged by these guys, and performed by these guys. The 4th and final track on the disc contains the entire show's performance. Presumably, this is the direct audio that played during the shows which the on-stage costumed actors performed along to, though I'm not positive about that. Do I want to buy Sonic in Sydney, or do I want to buy roughly 1,300 bags of gummy worms? For those that would rather the latter, rips of the CD are easily found online, including full uploads of the thing on YouTube. So you might not be able to watch it with your eyes, but you can watch it with your ears. Anyway, in October 1997, we got Club SEGA in Japan, featuring 10 remixed tracks from various SEGA titles, including Knights, House of the Dead, and Afterburner, to name a few. And of course, Sonic! Track 8, titled Sonic 3. Man, the whole game? Toby Nation fit all of Sonic 3 into 7 minutes and 14 seconds? Get this man out of the club, he should be at Awesome Games Done Quick! It's a little repetitive, but a pretty cool remix of Death Egg Zone. This one was published by Marvelous Entertainment, one of their first ever as a company. Between the late 90s and early 2000s, they'd publish a handful of other SEGA titles, most notably the Adventure and Adventure 2 soundtracks. Starting in the early 2010s, the company itself went through a few different acquisitions, mergers, and company renames, but they're still around today. Evidently, there was a promotional 2 LP vinyl pressing containing all the same tracks as the CD, but I'm having trouble finding anything about that outside of the Discogs page, and someone selling it for almost $600. Hey buddy, you know I can listen to these for free, right? Club Saturn, published by all these guys later that same year and in 1997. It had the same idea but remixed music from Sega Saturn games specifically, like Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, which the Beluga Boys got their mitts on. This was not published in Japan, but rather in the US, UK, and Brazil on CD, and Indonesia, where it was released exclusively on cassette. In the UK, the CD came bundled with an exclusive second disc with a bunch of playable demos of Sega Saturn games. Additionally, the UK got this promo vinyl EP containing 4 of the 15 tracks. Not the Sonic one though, so get it out of here! Do you like the music from Sonic R? Then you should check out Sonic R. That's the name of this one. Another marvelous title, as in entertainment, published in January 1998 in Japan. Can you feel it? The sunshine? Hey, wait a minute. What is he doing here? What's that art? Yeah, this was at the time when things were about to change big boy mode for ol' Sonic the mother effing GD Hedgehog, resulting in some overlap in the designs of packaging and marketing materials. To my knowledge, this is the first appearance of Yuji Uekawa's Sonic art on anything. Certainly the first appearance of Sonic's new look. Sonic Adventure hadn't even been announced to the public at the time this was on store shelves. Sonic's forthcoming design change, what you and me and your dad refer to as his modern look, appears smack dab on the cover and in the pages of the booklet. But so does art from the game itself. The then current designs of not only Sonic, but Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Eggman as well. Man, classic and modern Sonic together? They should make a game about that. Hey Knuckles, can you stop ominously aura farming, please? As for the music, it's Sonic R, baby! What can you say? The best part about this soundtrack is, you don't have to play Sonic R to listen to it. The remixes of Work It Out and Supersonic Racing at the end of the track list are, I think, exclusive to this CD. Strangely, they were cut from the 2014 digital version. Though that one did come with instrumentals of the main songs, which is neato mosquito. Fast forwarding just a tick, there'd be one other specifically Sonic R related music thing in September 1999. On vinyl. In the US only. But only one song. More accurately, 4 remixes of that song. Bro, why? Who cares why? I don't. I don't care about anything anymore. Work It Out from Sonic R. Number 4 fans really ate yet again. While British vocalist TJ Davis provided all vocals for the in-game music, these remixes feature US vocalist Dee Brave. Most of them are okay, but the first one, the Eric Kupper Classic Mix, is real good.
Work it out, think about it. Work it out, talk about it. Work it out, make it happen. Let's work it out. We got to make it real. We got to make it real.
2 of these are exclusive to this vinyl pressing. Meanwhile, the aforementioned Eric Kupper Classic, as well as the Hex Hector remixes, originally appeared earlier that same year on the sequel to Club Sega, Club Sega 2, Beat Grooves, again published by Marvelous Entertainment. Sonic Team PowerPlay, Best Songs from Sonic Team, was published by our classic friend Marv in November 1998 in Japan. As the title implies, this is a greatest hits of Sonic Team as a whole, featuring music from Sonic CD and Sonic R, Nights and Christmas Nights, and Burning Rangers. Like the Sonic R soundtrack, both of Sonic's designs are present here. The disc tray sports his forthcoming Sonic Adventure look, while the back of the package features this really rad art, which I think might be exclusive to this CD. Music-wise, there are 2 songs from Sonic CD and 3 songs from Sonic R. Oh, and a hidden bonus track too, and... Wait, what was that? Do you smell that? There it is again. I could have sworn that... Open Your Heart, from a niche little game called Sonic Adventure. Not sure if you know that one. There was apparently a tight schedule including the song on this CD as well, as the final recording of Open Your Heart was done in Los Angeles in mid-September 1998. And this album was released on November 6, 1998, not even 2 months later. Quote, Sonic Team had received numerous inquiries about the main theme up until that point, so I'm really glad we were able to include it. Naofumi Hataya, composer for Sonic CD, Nights, Burning Rangers, and more, commented on how the songs here were partially remixed, with the balance between instruments and tones having been tweaked. Also saying that if you've been familiar with the soundtracks up to this point, you'll be able to enjoy the differences. Meanwhile, Yukifumi Makino, whose sound credits run the gamut on a wide range of SEGA titles, dating back to sound program on the very first Sonic the Hedgehog, talks about how shifting to CD-ROM and other tech advances influenced his direction of sound production. Quote, "After much trial and error, a direction emerged, and many wonderful works were born from that. This album is a compilation of all that work." Sonic Team PowerPlay's entry on the Sonic Adventure Sound site reads as follows. This CD is a best-of album featuring vocal tracks from Sonic Team's past works. It's not mentioned anywhere on the jacket, but the 12th track is actually a secret track, Open Your Heart from Sonic Adventure. It brings back fond memories of Naka-san saying in various places, "Maybe we'll get to hear the future before anyone else." Listening to all the tracks lined up like this, I feel like I can once again sense the power and direction of the sound team these days. This is truly a work that lives up to the title of a best-of album. Man. Well, we've made it to the end. Or at least the last one I'm going to talk about here. Yet another release from Marvelous Entertainment in May of 1999 in Japan called Radio DC. It's a handful of remixes and arrangements of SEGA game music intercut with commentary and skits from a DJ, as if you're listening to an actual radio broadcast, hence the name.
And be sure you keep holding the hand of your...
Baby.
because we got more romancing sound for you on Radio DC.
There's 2 Sonic remixes here. One of Sonic You Can Do Anything, also known as, well, you remember, and one of Welcome to Station Square from Sonic Adventure, titled After the Adventure. Now, I had thought this song originated from Jun Sonoe's solo CD, The Works, later in 2009, but it did first appear here on Radio DC. Although there's a skit that plays over the track, so that makes The Works the first time we got a plain version. It is a lovely, low-key remix of Station Square's theme. And there you have it. Possibly. All the physical music related to and or featuring Sonic the Hedgehog released in the 1990s. Well, almost. I intentionally skipped over some rather big ones that came out between Sonic Team PowerPlay and Radio DC. What were they again? Oh yeah, these. But I'm gonna stop here. That's maybe for another time. Sonic Adventure would launch in 1999, or 1998, marking a paradigm shift in all aspects of the Sonic franchise. With this, physical music around the world related to Sonic started to become more normal, with quotes, as in normal, from Garfield. Sonic and Garfield for the PC, leading up to the turn of the century. Wacky music compilations and dance remix releases would phase out, giving way to more of the typical full soundtrack CDs. Though special, unique ones would still show up every so often. A little less Tokyo Ghetto Pussy, a little more Keys the Ruin for Pyramid Cave. That's a Fall Out Boy song title, I think. From the current day fan and collector's perspectives, this certainly makes searching for and, hell, even cataloging stuff a lot easier. Tracking down a single soundtrack instead of all these remixes can sometimes be less of a headache, even if it's more expensive. Though what I, and now, dear viewer, I hope you as well, appreciate about this era is the very first word of the title, just how weird it is as a whole. But weird isn't necessarily bad. What I'm trying to say is, for as weird a chapter in Sonic's history as Sonic Dance Power is, for example, at the same time, it's very unique. Remember that from the thing? That kind of stuff doesn't happen today. Maybe for the better, but look at all the other stuff I talked about. There were the typical soundtrack offerings every so often, sure, but we also got cool house and dance tunes featuring Sonic. Some that were completely original works with funny helium voices. Arranged versions of music from the games, remixes made just for the hell of it, or made for entire albums, or made from the music of a bunch of SEGA games. Original music inspired by the worlds of Sonic, a greatest hits collection that encapsulates mid to late 90s era Sonic Team, a greatest hits that has nothing to do with Sonic Team, an album designed to sound like a radio broadcast, and yes, oh yes, Wonder Man. That's the end. Well guys, did you like the video as much as me? Impossible, because I didn't like it at all. I'm yanking your spank. I had a sonic blast. I could talk about Sonic music until the cows come home. Huh? What's that? Well, looks like the cows are home, so I guess the video's over. If you liked the video, good. That means you're right. If you didn't, why not? I titled this video a Compendium because, in conjunction with being a silly, fun Sonic time, I did want to loosely educate and provide some historical context for all these pieces of Sonic's past. Maybe you learned something here. If you knew all this already, you're a nerd. Go get a life, nerd. Not sure where else I'll get the chance to, so I want to shout out an old Sonic fan site called Sonic Style. It's no longer active, but still accessible via the Wayback Machine. I visited Sonic Style a lot back when I was a kid, and it was seminal in my discovering and learning about a lot of these early music releases. Despite how much attention Sonic music gets as a whole, I feel that the physical music sphere is something that gets glossed over at times, or maybe not heard about as frequently. It's a topic I really enjoy, and I had a lot of fun putting this whole thing together. So, I hope you liked it. Maybe I'll do another one of these. Or maybe I'll go back into retirement. Who knows? If you get a kick out of this topic, I did a whole series of videos back in the day looking at individual Sonic music releases. Check them out, and maybe you'll get a kick out of those too. Love you all. Be good to each other, be good to the world, and go listen to all the music I talked about in this video. You won't regret it.
Okay, sit back, get comfortable, and let's watch that one more time.
Thank you.